Okay. So yesterday we're discussing about the working principle of BJT. Okay. So we had discussed that two types of BJT are there. One is NPN and another is your PNP. Okay. And I've told you that the in NPN the P layer is sandwiched between two N layer, and similarly in case of PNP the N layer is sandwiched between two P layers. Okay. And the working principle also we have discussed, just I'll brief it out. So basically the base is having high resistance, okay, compared to emitter and collector. Now the base emitter junction is kept in forward bias. Okay, when it is kept in forward bias, I'm talking about a just a NPN transistor. Okay, so there electron will be shifted from emitter to base. For those electrons inside the base will act as a minority carrier. Okay, and the base collector junction will be kept in reverse bias manner. Okay, so the electron which came from emitter to base, they have to pass a high resistivity path if they want to go to the base terminal. Okay, instead of that, those electrons can easily be shifted to the collector terminal because this base collector junction is reverse biased. So since it is reverse biased, easily the electron can shift from base terminal to collector terminal. Okay, so we have discussed that most of the electrons, so almost let's say 90% or 95% of the electron will be easily shifted to collector terminal. Only few of them electron will be shifted to base terminal. Okay, so those few electron will form your base current, and the majority amount of electron which are shifted to collector terminal, that will form your collector current. Okay, and finally we have discussed that IE is equal to IB plus IC. Okay, because your net emitter current is divided in two branches, one is towards collector and another is towards base. So IE equal to IB plus IC, that we have discussed. Another thing we have discussed about the ICO minority, that means when emitter base junction is open or there is no electron coming from emitter to base terminal, there also at that time also some amount of current flow from base terminal to collector terminal, because the base collector junction is reverse bias. So if it is reverse bias, the current will be only due to the minority carrier. Okay, but that amount is very low. So that is termed as ICBO minority, that is collected to base keeping emitter open. So we had discussed or we have found out like this: IC equal to IC majority plus ICBO minority. This ICBO stands for I collected to base keeping emitter open and due to the minority carrier. Okay, so IC equal to IC majority plus ICBO minority. Then we have seen the common base configuration for both the NPN transistor as well as for the PNP transistor. Okay, just in an NPN transistor, you have to connect the battery so that the emitter base will be forward bias and base collector will be reverse bias. Okay, and in case of a PNP transistor, just you have to reverse the battery polarity so that both emitter base junction will be forward bias and that base collector junction will be reverse biased. Okay, so this configuration we have seen. Next, we had already discussed about the input characteristics. Okay, so these characteristics we have seen. So it is with respect to VBE versus your IE. Okay, when you change the voltage between base and emitter, with respect to that, the IE current will be varying. Okay, so keeping VCB constant, let us say the first curve with keeping VCB equal to 1 volt. If you increase this VCB, then you will get another curve which is in the higher side. This also we have discussed, because if I'm increasing VCB, then the attraction or pulling force from collector will be more. So that's why we will get more amount of emitter current. So that's why if you design the curve VB versus IE curve with keeping more VCB value, then you will get another curve which is in the higher side. Okay, so these things we have discussed last class. Okay, now we'll discuss about the output characteristic of the common base configuration. Common base configuration output characteristics. Okay, so first we'll draw the common base configuration of a NPN transistor, so that it will be easy for you to find out the behavior of the circuit. NPN, this is my emitter terminal, this is my base terminal, and this is my collector terminal. I have to keep emitter base as forward bias, so connect the battery accordingly. So this battery voltage, I'll name it as VBE. Okay, so this will keep my emitter base junction in forward bias, and I'll put another battery which will put the base collector junction in reverse bias manner. Okay. Now we'll see its output characteristics. That means the output characteristic is basically a curve between, okay, so name the current. This is your IE, this is your, yes, IB, this is your IC. Okay, so this output characteristic is the curve between your VCB and IC, because I want to see that how this IC is varying with respect to your VCB. Okay, when I'm changing VCB, how the IC is varying, that I want to measure. Okay, with keeping this IE constant. Okay, so keeping this IE constant, how the IC is varying with respect to VCB, that I want to measure. Okay, so you can write down this VCB versus IC with keeping IE constant. That means, suppose first I will take IE equal to 1 milliampere. With keeping IE equal to 1 milliampere, I will measure a curve between IC and VBE. Okay, so I will get one curve. Again, after that, with keeping IE equal to, let's say, 2 milliampere, I will draw another curve between IC and VCB. Okay, so I will get another curve. Okay, so that I want to do. So here, just put a x-axis, because my IC is the dependent variable and VCB is the independent variable. That means when I'll change this VCB, with respect to VCB change, IC will change. That means IC is a dependent on the VCB. Okay, so keep this VCB in x-axis or independent variable. Okay, and the IC in the y-axis. Is it visible properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. So now what I'll do, with respect to VCB, I will draw a curve between IC. Okay. So now see, most of the current which is coming from base to collector is due to this reverse bias potential. Suppose initially, for suppose assume, let's say 100 number of electrons were present inside this base. Okay, so those 100 electrons were the minority electrons inside base. Okay, now when I'll apply a little VCB value, it is reverse biasing it. Okay, so those all 100 electrons will be shifted to collector terminal. Okay, now again if I'll go on increasing this VCB, still there will be no increment in this current. Why? Because all the electron which are there inside the base, that has been shifted to collector. Okay, so that means the current will be saturated. Okay, like we are doing in case of the reverse biasing voltage of your PN junction diode. PN junction diode, in PN junction diode you have a forward bias characteristic and reverse bias characteristics. In reverse bias manner, what you are finding out, with application of a little voltage, little negative voltage, most of the minority carrier were getting shifted, and after that when we are increasing this negative voltage, still there was no increment in the current, because all the minority carrier has been shifted. Similarly, assuming for a particular example, assume that let's say 100 electrons are there present in the base. Now, with a very little VCB value, all the electron will be shifted to collector. Then, if I go on increasing VCB, still there is, though the collector is trying to pull, but there is no more electron inside this base. Okay, so that's why there will be mostly no increment in the current. Okay, so suppose this point is 0. Similarly here 1, 2, whatever value may be. Okay, so first I'll get a curve like this. Assume that IE equal to 0. Okay, no, it will actually be not here, or I will do this one later. Suppose assume initially I had kept as I equal to 1. Okay, I equal to 1 means 1 milliampere means assume that 100 electrons have been shifted here. Okay, so at that time when I'm increasing the VCB with a little VCB value, all the electron has been shifted to the collector. So I'll get a curve like this. So what basically you are finding out here, when the VCB value is just above 0, okay, 0 से जब थोड़ा सा भी बड़ा है, okay, उस टाइम पे most of the electron has been shifted to collector. After that, when we are increasing this VCB value, there is almost no increment in the current. Okay, so the current is getting saturated almost here. Okay. Now tell me, if I will, let's say, put as IC equal to 2 milliampere. That means if I am telling that IC equal to 2 milliampere, that means more number of electrons are getting injected to the base. Okay, suppose for a simplicity of calculation, I am telling 2 milliampere means 200 electrons are shifted to base. Okay, so if 200 electrons are shifted to base, so with a very little amount of this VCB value, all those 200 electrons will be shifted to this collector terminal. Okay, so exactly not 200. So out of 200, let's say 190 electrons will be shifted, only the 10 electrons will be shifted to base terminal. Okay, so my IC current is dependent on this IE current. For IE equal to 2 milliampere. Okay, so that means I have taken I equal to 2 milliampere means what? I am injecting more electron from emitter to base. Okay, so now if there is more electrons are present inside base, so those electrons will be shifted to collector, and the collector current will be also more. Okay, but that collector current will be maximum is equal to that 200 or that 2 milliampere which has been shifted or injected from the emitter terminal. Okay, now similarly, if I'll do I equal to 3 milliampere, okay, at that time the VCB versus IC curve will be above or lower?
Above.
It will be above. Okay, okay, that means when I'm saying that I equal to 3 milliampere, that means I'm injecting more number of electrons. Now those more electrons will be shifted to collector, and that will form a larger amount of collector current. Similarly, when I equal to 0, that means no electrons are injected from emitter to base at that time. How will be this BCB versus IC curve? When there is I equal to 0, that means there is no electron injected from here to here. Will there be any current from base to collector?
No.
No, sir,
Yes.
it will be on x-axis.
Okay.
It will be, sir.
Okay, it will be okay. It will be due to what?
Minority carrier.
Due to minority
Yes.
carrier, sir, in
Listen,
inside.
okay, so already that thing we have discussed earlier also. Okay, so when this we have discussed yesterday, when this battery was not connected and there is no current or no IE current, okay, or there is no electron from electron to base, at that time also initially, due to the property of this p material, there is a very little amount of minority carrier. Okay, so those minority carrier will at least form a little bit, a small amount of IC current. Okay, so practically that will be on the x axis. Okay, मैं थोड़ा उसको ऊपर किया हूं ताकि तुमको पता चले. Okay, so that current will also be there, IE equal to 0. Okay, when IE equal to 0, at that time also very little amount of current will flow in between the base and collector terminal, because I know it is a simple base collector junction or PN junction. Okay, and I am putting it in reverse manner. Okay, so if I am putting it reverse biasing manner, then due to the minority carrier there will be small amount of current flow. Okay. Right.
सर वो तो बहुत ही negligible होगा ना?
Yes, it is, that is very negligible. So that I told you, na, it will be almost on this x-axis, but I have just drawn it a little bit above so that it will be visible. Okay. Right.
Okay, sir.
So here we have different region of operation. Okay. So if you extend or just put some horizontal line, that means whatever the maximum collector current which you are finding out. Okay, that means what? When IE is kept as 1 milliampere, the maximum collector current will be obtained at this much. Okay, so it will be, let us say, 0.95 milliampere. Okay, because I know that whatever IE, out of that almost 90% will be equal to IC current, and only 5% will be, or 10% will be going through base side. So if IE I am taking as 1 milliampere, out of that I can say approximately, let us say 0.9 milliampere is IC, okay, and 0.1 milliampere is your IB. These are not exact value. I'm just giving for a explanation purpose only. Okay. Right. So out of this, if you put और जीरो किसी तरह एक लाइन डालो, okay, so this portion is called as saturation region. This portion is called as active region, and ये जो जीरो से पहले मतलब ये y एक्सिस से नीचे x एक्सिस से नीचे, I can otherwise mark it out like this. These person are your cutoff region. Okay, and ये रेड लाइन से लेफ्ट को जितना पर्सन है, ओके, सो दोज आर योर सैचुरेशन रीजन. ये एक्स एक्सिस से नीचे, ओके, दैट इज योर कट ऑफ रीजन, एंड दिस पर्सन इज योर एक्टिव रीजन. ओके, so basically what is happening in this active region? In this active region we have kept the EB junction in forward bias manner and the BC junction, which is base collector junction, in reverse bias manner. That means as per our requirement, okay, as per the configuration which is needed for the proper working of the BJT. This red color is visible or not visible, or should I always use the black?
Black, sir, not visible.
Okay,
Use black one, sir.
right. So that is checking. Emitter base,
रेड वाला पूरे वाइट दिख रहा है सर.
emitter base is forward bias and base collector is reverse bias. किसमें? ये एक्टिव रीजन में. ओके, सो देखो कि VCV is positive quantity. So if I am taking VCV value as positive, that means my base collector is reverse bias. Okay, as well as I am considering this person. Suppose I equal to 2 milliampere. I am saying I equal to 2 milliampere. That means what? I have kept this VBE in a positive voltage, and this emitter base is forward bias. Okay, so that's why IE current is flowing. Okay, so that's why in the active region my emitter base junction is forward bias and my base collector junction is reverse bias. Okay, so in this active region the emitter is supplying electron to base as well as collector is pulling the electron. Okay, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन दे रहा है और कलेक्टर भी पुल कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रॉन. Okay, so that is about your active region. Now coming to the cut-off region. In cut-off region, what is happening? So in cut-off region, suppose you assume these persons. Okay, in this person. Okay, practically there is no curve in this below side. So ये नीचे I equal to 0 आ गया. तो उससे नीचे क्या होगा? So there is no IE current. तो IE current नहीं है मतलब क्या है कि suppose VBE is reverse bias or this emitter base junction is reverse bias, so that's why there is no collector current, there is no emitter current. Okay, so when I'm talking about this cut-off region, I'm assuming there is no IE current or there is the emitter base junction is reverse bias. So this one is indicate this cut-off region, emitter base is reverse bias as well as base collector is reverse bias. क्योंकि suppose I'm talking about this point. Okay, so this point is what? Its corresponding VCV is +2. Okay, VCV is +2 means what? Base collector is reverse bias. That means collector is trying to pull. Okay, but the emitter is not supplying electron to base. Why? Because I am in the lower side of this x-axis. x-axis 0 से नीचे है. Okay, तो यहाँ I equal to 0 ये आ गया. तो उससे नीचे क्या होगा? कुछ भी emitter current नहीं है. Okay, so that means emitter is not supplying electron to base. Okay, and when the emitter will not supply electron to base, if the emitter base junction will be reverse bias. Okay, so that's why the cut-off region means emitter base junction is reverse bias and base collector junction is also reverse bias. Okay, so collector is trying to pull electron. Collector is, I'm just writing in short. Okay, so you can elaborately write it. Collector is pulling electron or trying to pull. Trying to pull electron, but emitter is not supplying. Okay, तो कट ऑफ रीजन में क्या हो रहा है कि कलेक्टर ट्राई कर रहा है पुल करने के लिए इलेक्ट्रॉन. ओके, बट emitter is not supplying. So since emitter is not supplying, though collector is trying, still there will be no current or no amount of current. Okay, in active region both the things are happening properly. Like what about your requirement that emitter is supplying electron, emitter is supplying electron and collector is pulling it. ओके, एक्टिव रीजन में तुम्हारा जो ऑपरेशन होना चाहिए बीजेटी का वही हो रहा है, जैसे कि तुम्हारा एमिटर सप्लाई कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रॉन और कलेक्टर पुल कर रहा है यहाँ से, दैट इज हैपनिंग. नाउ कमिंग टू दिस सैचुरेशन रीजन, दिस साइड. इन दिस साइड मैं इसको इरेज कर देता हूँ. दिस इज योर saturation region. Okay, here both are in forward bias manner. EB is forward bias and BC, base collector, is also forward bias manner. Look at here. So if this is 0, so let us say this value is -1. Okay, so VCB value is -1. Okay, so take, let's say VCB equal to -1. Tell me, base collector is forward bias or reverse bias now? Already the battery is connected in the reverse bias polarity. So if this VCB value will be positive value, then it will be reverse bias. So if I am taking VCB equal to -1 and the battery is connected like this, so it indicates what? The collector base is forward bias or reverse bias?
Forward.
Forward.
फॉरवर्ड.
It will be forward bias. Look at here. Suppose I am taking -1, मतलब इस कनेक्शन के हिसाब से ये -1, तो मतलब फाइनल क्या हो जाएगा कि उल्टा हो जाएगा. ओके, उल्टा हो जाने से दिस साइड इज पॉजिटिव. ओके, P is connected to positive, then it is forward bias. Okay, please try to understand the concept properly. If I'm telling VCB equal to +1, that means now it is reverse bias. Why? If it is +1 means what? ये बैटरी का मैग्नीट्यूड +1 है और उसका नेगेटिव साइड P को लगा है और पॉजिटिव साइड N को लगा है. So that means it is P is connected to N and this P side is connected to negative side and this N type is connected to positive side. So it is reverse bias. Now if I am taking it is -1, its amplitude is -1. Okay, तो एक -1 वोल्टेज का बैटरी, ओके, एंड उसका नेगेटिव, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा उस कंडीशन में? दिस साइड विल बी at a higher potential and this side will be at a lower potential. Okay, so if this left side is at a higher potential and that is connected to P, and the right side is the lower potential and it is connected to N side, so then obviously it is forward bias. Okay, so the left side 0 से left वो indicate क्या कर रहा है कि तुम्हारा VC collector base terminal is forward bias. Okay, collector base or base collector junction is forward bias. And emitter base is also forward bias. Why? Because if I'm, let us say, talk about this point. Okay, this point means it is indicating your IE equal to 2 milliampere और IE emitter current है. Okay, emitter current है मतलब क्या है कि base collector is emitter base is forward bias. Okay, so both of the junctions are forward bias. Okay, so in this manner, what is happening? If emitter base junction is forward bias, the concept is emitter is supplying electron but collector is not able to pull those electrons. Why? Because collector is बेस कलेक्टर इज फॉरवर्ड बेस में. इधर हम देखें ना कि बेस कलेक्टर को फॉरवर्ड में रखे हैं, एमिटर बेस को भी फॉरवर्ड में रखे हैं. तो एमिटर बेस जंक्शन को फॉरवर्ड में रखे हैं मतलब क्या है? हाँ, एमिटर इलेक्ट्रॉन दे रहा है, लेकिन बेस कलेक्टर को भी फॉरवर्ड में रखे हैं. तो बेस कलेक्टर को जब फॉरवर्ड में रखे हैं तो उसके वजह से ये ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन वहां से खींच नहीं पा रहा है. तो बट दिस कलेक्टर इज नॉट एबल to pull electron. Okay, so these are the three regions of your output characteristics. Okay, so you can just simply make a table, your active region, your cutoff region and your saturation region. Okay, in active region which is forward bias, which is reverse bias, in cutoff which one is forward bias, which is reverse bias, and saturation में क्या फॉरवर्ड क्या रिवर्स है वो लिख दोगे. ओके, एंड एक्टिव रीजन में तुम्हारा एक्चुअल जो वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल है वही होता है, दैट मीन्स एमिटर इज सप्लाइंग इलेक्ट्रॉन एंड कलेक्टर इज आल्सो पुलिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन. Okay, once you get which is in which region as per this configuration or this biasing, you can also write down what is its behavior. Obviously, if emitter base is reverse bias, that means emitter is not supplying electron. Okay, but base collector is reverse bias, that means collector is trying to pull electron. Okay, ये biasing condition से तुम्हारा ये जो sentence लिखा है वो भी मिल जाएगा. Similarly, emitter base forward bias है, that means emitter supply कर रहा है. Okay, but base collector is also forward bias. तो base collector forward bias मतलब क्या है? collector pull नहीं कर पा रहा है. Okay, क्योंकि मैं अभी जो बोल रहा हूँ कि ये इलेक्ट्रॉन आएगा, ये इलेक्ट्रॉन आने के बाद ये रिवर्स बायस होता है तो उसको पुल कर सकता था. Okay, so these are the three operating conditions, three region of your output characteristics. Okay, now we'll proceed. We'll find out one parameter that is called as alpha, okay, which is the relationship between IC and IE. All of you, I think most of you have noted it. I'm erasing it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or it's right on this. Alpha. Okay. So what is alpha? You can write it as current gain during common base configuration. Current in common base configuration. Okay, so we are talking about the common base configuration. In this configuration, what is your alpha that we want to find out? Okay, so it is the current gain in case of your common base configuration. Okay, so this alpha can be found out as alpha DC or alpha AC. Like in case of your diode, during we are calculating the resistance. Okay, so resistance we are finding out RDC or RSC. Okay, so similarly here also you can find out alpha DC and alpha AC. Okay, most probably both the things are same. Okay, but when I'm talking about alpha DC, that means at a particular point of operation, how much is this alpha that I want to find out. Okay, so alpha DC equal to IC equal alpha equal to IC by IE. Okay, alpha equal to IC by IE. Okay, so already I have told you from the starting that most of the current will go to IC and only few current will go to or electron will go to base. Okay, suppose I told you let's 100 electron came and 90 electron came here and 10 electron came to base terminal. Okay, so as for that 100, 90 and 10, I can say that 90% of this electron are coming here and 10% are coming here. Suppose IE equal to 1 milliampere, IC equal to your 0.9 milliampere and IB equal to 0.1 milliampere. Okay, so as for this notation, alpha is equal to IC by IE, or it is equal to 0.9 milliampere by 1 milliampere, or it is equal to 0.9. Okay, so alpha is just a parameter which indicates the behavior or the relationship between IC and IE of a particular transistor. So when the transistor manufacturer sells the transistor BJT, it specifies some of its parameters, that how its IC and IE are related. Okay, its alpha value will be given. Okay, Similarly, other parameters like beta is there, so that those value will be given. Suppose you want a transistor where IC and IE relation should be equal to 90%. Okay, so then you will choose a BJT having alpha value equal to 0.9. Okay, if you need a the relationship between IE and IC should be equal to 80%. Okay, then you will take a another BJT whose alpha value equal to 0.8. Okay, so this is just a relationship between your how IC and IE are related. Okay. So normally this alpha value is near to 1. Okay, why it is near to 1? Already we have discussed in the theory part that the most of the electron coming from emitter will go to collector and very few electron will go to base terminal. So IC value, alpha value is equal to near to 1. Okay, so it is mostly, let's say, 0.9 or 0.95, okay, 0.97, like that. Okay. Right. One thing we know that from the previous class, IC equal to IC majority plus IC O or ICBO. Okay, so this is one expression which we have studied yesterday. Okay, so IC equal to the net IC is equal to IC due to the majority carrier plus IC due to the minority carrier when this emitter terminal is open. Okay, so now as for this expression, I can write down this IC majority, total IC majority is equal to alpha IE, alpha IE. Okay, so if alpha equal to IC by IE, I can say IC equal to alpha into IE. Okay. Or that is equal to alpha IE. In short, it is written directly ICO. Okay. So this net current, net collector current is equal to alpha times the current going to IE plus ICO when this emitter is open. You see here why it is happening. This alpha is the relationship between IC and IE. When this IE is there, at that time the relationship between IC and IE is given by alpha. Okay. So when this IE is not there from the beginning itself, that means, as I told you, if BB is disconnected, okay, at that time also there is a minority current which is given by this ICO. Okay, so the net collector current is equal to the summation of that minority current, that is ICO, plus the current due to the current due to this whenever VB is present. Okay, so that part is can be found out by alpha times of IE. So if there is current flowing is IE, then alpha times IE will be going in this branch. Okay, so that current plus when this VB is not there or when this is open, okay, at that time we have a ICO amount of current. So that's why my final IC will be equal to, if you are getting confusion, you can write it as IC total. The total amount of IC equal to IC majority plus ICBO minority, that we know. Okay, so now this IC due to the majority carrier, that means when VB is there and IE current is flowing, at that time this collector current is equal to alpha times of IE as per our this relation. Okay, so IC equal to alpha IE plus ICO. Okay, so this one you can just remember. Next one is your alpha AC. delta IC by delta IE with keeping VC constant. Okay, that means in the output characteristic curve you have this VCE axis, (1 milliampere), let us say, this type of characteristic we are getting. So correspondingly, for this IE equal to 1 milliampere, what is the corresponding IC? So this is my IC is the corresponding for I equal to 1 milliampere. Similarly, for this one, you put a horizontal line from its maximum point. Similarly, from this one, you put a horizontal line. Okay. So these are the corresponding IC value for I equal to 1 milliampere, I equal to 2 milliampere, I equal to 3 milliampere. Okay. Suppose keeping VC equal to constant. Suppose I'll take this is the VC value where I will find out my alpha AC. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll put a straight line from here. Okay. And I have to find out delta IC by delta IE. Okay. So delta IE means suppose I will choose I equal to 3 milliampere, I equal to 2 milliampere. Okay. So it is delta IE. So I equal to 3 milliampere, I equal to 2 milliampere. Okay. And delta IC, that means IE 3 milliampere जब था उसके लिए कितना IC है. Okay. Suppose this one is, assume let's say 2.9. Let us say this is 1.9. Okay. So corresponding to I equal to 3 milliampere, IC value equal to 2.9. So put 2.9. And corresponding to I equal to 2 milliampere, the corresponding IC equal to 1.9. Okay. So in this way, your alpha AC is calculated. So alpha AC is basically calculated on the graph. Okay. And alpha DC is calculated directly if the values of IC and IE are given. So from that you can find out the alpha DC. Okay. Or at a particular operating point, if you know how much is the IC value and IE value, then just divide them IC by IE, so that will be your alpha DC. And if you have this type of different curve, that means for different IE value, what is the IC value you know. Okay, at that time, if you want to find out, then you have to find out alpha AC. Okay. So till this point, is it okay? Next, we'll discuss about the common emitter configuration. Okay. I'm erasing it. I'm starting common emitter configuration. Is it okay?
सर VCE को कांस्टेंट क्यों किए?
Yes.
VCE कांस्टेंट क्यों लिया?
Which one is not constant?
सर अल्फा एसी निकालने के लिए VCE कांस्टेंट लिया ना?
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
क्यों किए वो सर, वही जानना है.
Okay. देखो, I want to find out delta IC by delta IE when VC equal to constant. I want to find out that how the IC and IE are related. Okay. So when there is a change in IC and how much is change in IE, okay, with keeping VCE is constant. So that will be my alpha, because alpha says that what it is a relationship between IC and IE. Okay, IC को vary करने से IE कैसे vary करता है. Okay, so that I want to find out, or that is the relationship between delta IC or variation in IC, variation in IE. Okay, when the other parameters are constant. Okay, so here IC or IE. Okay, and there is another parameter VCB. Okay, तो VCB को constant रख के VCB को कुछ variation नहीं करेंगे. IC में थोड़ा variation करेंगे तो IE कितना vary हो रहा है. Okay, they are related by the parameter alpha. So that I want to find out. So that's why I kept VCB is constant. Okay. मेरा IC alpha value क्या है? IC by IE. Okay. And alpha AC equal to delta IC by delta IE. तो IC को vary करने से IE कैसे vary कर रहा है और उनका रिलेशनशिप मुझे निकलना है. उस टाइम पे मैं अदर पैरामीटर को कुछ वेरी नहीं करूंगा. ओके, तो इसलिए VCB जो अदर पैरामीटर एक है उसको मैंने कांस्टेंट ही रख दिया। ओके, इसको कांस्टेंट रखो, आईसी को वेरी करो और आई कितना वेरी हो रहा है उस हिसाब से, और आई को वेरी करो उस हिसाब से आईसी कितना वेरी हो रहा है। ओके, दैट आई हैव टू फाइंड आउट एंड दैट डिवीजन इज योर अल्फा एसी। ओके, so next we'll find out start the common emitter configuration. Common emitter CE configuration. ये थोड़ा कट गया है, शायद नहीं दिख रहा है। कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन। ओके, फर्स्ट विल ड्रॉ द फिगर ऑफ कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और NPN. NPN. Okay, so this is your emitter, base and collector. As for our knowledge, so what I have to do, I have to put this base emitter junction in forward bias, okay, and base collector in reverse bias. Okay, so what I'll do, first base emitter I'll put in forward bias manner. So take a battery. So how I'll connect the battery? Positive side of the battery to P and negative side of the battery to the N side. Okay, suppose its amplitude is its value is VBE. Next, you take another volt battery. Okay, you have to put this base collector in reverse manner. So first, name it as, or don't okay, maybe let's say name it as V1. Let's say first V1, V2. Now I should ensure that this base collector junction should be reverse bias. Look at here. Though I mean it directly looks like it is forward bias or no, it's like reverse bias because N is connected to P, but still this point we are not ensure whether it will be reverse bias or not. Why? Because this battery is not connected between collector and base. ये बैटरी जो है ये कलेक्टर एंड एमिटर के बीच में लगा हुआ है गया है, ठीक है। Now I have to ensure that the base collector junction should be reverse biased. Okay, so this collector is at a potential of V2 and this base is at a potential of V1. Okay, so if my V2 is greater than V1, then only this collector base junction will be reverse biased. Yes or no? Please check it, because I want to confirm that collector base will be reverse biased. That means collector will be at a higher potential, okay, or this one is at a higher potential and this one will be at a lower potential. Yes or no? Say yes or no?
Sir, please repeat.
Okay. First of all, from the starting I'm telling base emitter should be forward bias. Okay, so that's why I put a battery of V1 voltage and the positive side is connected to this base terminal. Okay, तो ये P material positive side को connect हुआ है बैटरी का, तो ये base emitter forward bias हो गया. Okay, next is I put another battery V2 and its positive side is connected to this collector terminal. Okay, now this collector terminal is at a potential of V2. Why? Because battery, okay, its positive terminal is connected to here, so this potential of this collector is V2 and the potential of this base is V1, because this is a battery and the positive side of this battery V1 is connected to this base. Okay, so this base is at a potential of V1. Now, if V2 will be greater than V1, okay, then this potential of this material will be higher compared to the potential of this one. Okay, then only the base collector junction will be reverse bias. ये बेस का वोल्टेज अभी कितना है? The base is at a potential of V1. Okay, ये V1 बैटरी है, V1 इधर लगा है. Okay, and this collector is at a potential of
V2.
V2. मुझे ये बेस कलेक्टर को रिवर्स बायस करना है. ओके, दैट मींस एन टाइप मटेरियल, ये एन जो है और कलेक्टर ये ज्यादा हायर पोटेंशियल को लगना चाहिए. ओके, तो ये हायर पोटेंशियल को कैसे लगेगा? अगर कलेक्टर का वोल्टेज बेस के वोल्टेज से ज्यादा होगा. ओके, तो कलेक्टर का वोल्टेज कितना है? V2 और बेस का वोल्टेज V1. सो दैट्स व्हाई इफ V2 is greater than V1 or the potential of collector is greater than the potential of base, then only the collector base junction will be reverse bias. Okay. Similarly, for a PNP, first what I have to do, I have to put this emitter base collector. Let us collector, this is base, this emitter. First the emitter base will be forward base. So take a battery, negative side you connect to this base. Okay, just see here V1, but here also the same V1, but it is connected in the reverse manner. बैटरी का जो नेगेटिव साइड है वो बेस को लगा है. Take another voltage V2, and this V2 will be connected to this collector. Now, what should we ensure? The magnitude of V2 should be greater than the magnitude of V1. Okay, why? Because now my collector voltage here is minus V1. This voltage here is V2. Okay, and here this voltage is V1. Okay. Look at here. So this battery is the negative side. Okay, V2, its magnitude is V2, and the negative side is connected to here. So its collector or the potential here is minus V2. And what is the voltage at this point? Minus V1. Okay, so now the base collector junction should be reverse bias. Okay, it will be reverse bias if this one will be at a lower potential compared to this one. Okay, if collector is or this P material is at a lower potential with respect to this N material, then it will be reverse bias. Okay, so now this is minus V2, this is minus V1. Okay, if this V2 value is greater than V1, then only this is possible. Okay, suppose this is 5, this is 2, then only minus 5 is less than minus 2. Okay, and this base collector will be at a reverse bias manner. So just remember these two configuration. This is for your NPN structure, and this is for your PNP structure. Okay, and for the proper operation, or base emitter to be forward bias and base collector to be reverse bias, this V2 should be greater than V1. Okay, here also V2 should be greater than V1, but this both the batteries are connected in the reverse manner. Okay, so here we'll see the input characteristics and the output characteristics. Okay, so we'll discuss for the NPN type. We'll discuss. So this PNP one I'm erasing. Write down input characteristic. Okay, so input characteristic, it is a curve between what? Your input voltage and the input current. So initially I have named this as V1 and V2 so that it will be, you can write down like this, V1 and V2 for comparison purpose. Okay, so as for the terminal name, I can just write its value. Okay, suppose I'll name it as VBE and VCE. Okay, so this one is a curve between, and the current is IB, IC, IE. ओके, और पीएनपी में तीनों का करंट डायरेक्शन उल्टा होगा. ओके, ऊपर आईई होगा, ऊपर आईसी होगा और लेफ्ट साइड को आईबी होगा पीएनपी में. एनपीएन में दिस इज द करंट डायरेक्शन. ओके, सो नाउ द इनपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज व्हाट? इट इज अ कर्व बिटवीन आईबी with respect to VB. Okay, when that means how the IB is changing with respect to VB, that we want to curve with keeping VCE constant. Okay, so it is curve between IB versus VB, keeping IC, keeping VCE constant. Okay, so in x-axis what I'll take? Tell me what I'll take in the x-axis. It is a curve between IB with respect to VBE. Okay, so in x-axis what I should take?
voltage.
Yes,
VB.
voltage. VBE. Okay, so VBE is the independent. VBE को वेरी करने से कैसे IB वेरी कर रहा है, तो वो मुझे निकालना है. VB, sorry, IB. Okay, that I'll find out with keeping VCE constant. That means first let us say I'll put VCE equal to 1 volt, उसको 1 volt रख दिया. Okay, अभी VBE को 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 ऐसे बढ़ा के IB को मेजर करके एक कर्व मुझे मिल जाएगा. ओके, फिर से क्या करूंगा? VCE को मान लो कि 5 वोल्ट ले लिया, तो 5 वोल्ट करके इसको रख दिया. फिर VBE को वेरी करके IB को मेजर करके दूसरा कर्व ड्रा करूंगा. ओके, so what I'll do? So obviously when the VBE will increase, you know, it is just a simple PN junction that, so there is a junction in between them. When this VBE will increase, this junction will decrease, and at a particular point this junction will be completely neutralized. So once this junction is neutralized, more amount of electron will flow and it will increase the current flow, like your PN junction that you know. So you will get a curve like this. Okay, suppose it is 0.6, this is 0.7. Okay, so basically when the VBE voltage is around 0.6 or 0.7, we are getting that this junction is neutralized and the current is starting to increase. Okay, let us say this is for VCE equal to 1 volt. Initially I had put VCE equal to 1 volt. Okay, and keeping VCE equal to 1 volt, I am measuring this VBE versus IB curve. Now the thing comes that if I increase VCE, then what will happen to IB? Okay, suppose now I want to measure another curve VCE with let's say 5 volt. Okay, so if this voltage is more, whether this IB will be increased or in the higher side or in the lower side, that is my question. Okay, see what is happening. Suppose this VCE is more. So if VCE is more, it is trying to pull with a more force. Okay, VCE is more means what? The reverse biasing of this collector is more. So if it is more reverse bias, it is trying to pull more number of electrons. Okay, so if it is trying to pull more number of electron, then if IE is constant, suppose IE को constant रख लिए. Okay, suppose यहाँ से 100 electrons जा रहा था. ओके 100 इलेक्ट्रॉन जा रहा था, लेकिन अभी ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन कलेक्टर के साइड में पुल हो जा रहा है, तो बेस के हिस्सा में कम इलेक्ट्रॉन आएगा. Okay, so if out of 100 electrons are shifted from emitted to base, out of that if more electrons are shifted to collector side, then less amount of electron will be shifted to base side. Okay, so the base current will be decreased. Okay, so if the collector current will increase by increasing this VCE value, then the base current will be decreased. So you will get another curve like this if you are taking VCE equal to, let us say, 5 volt. Why? Because suppose I am taking one value VB equal to 0.6, VB 0.6 था और VCE equal to 1 volt में इतना IB आ रहा है, और VB को 0.6 लेके VCE को 5 volt करने से थोड़ा IB कम आ रहा है. क्यों आ रहा है? That I told you. When I'm keeping VB is constant, VB को 0.6 में रख के हम कैलकुलेट करें, VB को फिक्स कर दें, मतलब क्या है? The IE is fixed or the number of electrons shifted from emitted to base is fixed. Okay, out of that fixed number of electron, if I am putting more force at the collector side, then more electron will be shifted to the collector side, and the amount of electron which will go to the base side, that will be reduced. Okay, so if that amount of amount of electron is reduced, then the base current will also be reduced. So what you are finding out, if you are increasing VC equal to 5 volt or VC equal to 10 volt, you are getting the VB versus IB curve in the lower side. Okay. Similarly, if you take VCE equal to 10 volt, then you will get another curve which is even in the lower side. Okay, so this is the difference between the input characteristic of the common emitter configuration and common base configuration. In common base configuration, what you are finding out, in common base configuration, if you just look at the previous last class example or last class diagram, input characteristic, then you will find out VC equal to 1 curve was coming in the lower side, VC equal to 2 was coming in the upper side, VC equal to 5 was coming in the upper side. Okay, but here you are finding out that VCE, when the VCE is increasing, the curve is going down. Okay. Okay, sometimes my video is paused or anything is happening. I mean, some other person's video is coming. Otherwise, I have to spotlight.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, is it fine? No? Okay. So I have just opened in another tab, another system. So there I was finding out that some other video was also coming. I mean, other users' screen was coming. That's why I thought that whether my screen is always visible to you or not. Okay. Right. So this is the concept. The concept is what? When you are keeping VB is fixed, suppose at this point we are calculating, okay, for 0.6 VB लेके अगर VC को 1 volt देंगे तो ज़्यादा IB आएगा कि VC को 5 volt देंगे ज़्यादा IB होगा. That you want to check. Okay. तो VB फिक्स रख दिया मतलब क्या है? IE को फिक्स रख दिया मतलब एमिटर से जो इलेक्ट्रॉन जा रहा है बेस को, that is fixed. Okay. Suppose 100 electrons are going. तो पहले केस में VC 1 था, सेकंड केस में VC 5 है. तो जब 1 था ये थोड़ा सा पुल कर रहा था, लेकिन जब ये VC 5 है ये ज्यादा पुल कर रहा है. तो पहले केस में 100 से मान लो 90 इलेक्ट्रॉन खींच रहा था, सेकंड केस में 95 इलेक्ट्रॉन खींच रहा है. ओके, तो अगर ये ज्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन खींच लिया तो बेस के हिसाब से हिस्से में कम इलेक्ट्रॉन मिलेगा. ओके, तो इफ आई एम अप्लाइंग VCE more, then more electron are shifted to collector and less electron will go to base. So that's why if VCE will increase, then IB will decrease. Okay, so that's why with VCE keeping or when the VCE is 5 volt, I'm getting a IB versus VBE in a lower side. This one I'm getting. Okay, when I'm increasing VCE even to 10 volt, I'm getting another curve between IB and VBE, which is in the even lower side. Okay, so this is the principle why when VCE will increase, the curve between IB and VB will go down. Okay. So this is about the input characteristics. Next we'll see about the output characteristics. Output characteristics. Okay, so what you have to do, we have to find out a curve between IC and VCE. Okay, because we are observing or we are evaluating the output side. So how the IC is changing with respect to VCE, that we want to draw. IC or VCE versus IC, keeping IB constant. IB को कांस्टेंट रख के, क्योंकि अदर थिंग को हम कांस्टेंट रख लिए. ओके, ये सब दूसरा चीज को कांस्टेंट रख लिए. ओके, तो इसको कांस्टेंट रख के VC वेरी करने से किस तरफ का IC वेरी कर रहा है, हो रहा है, दैट वी वांट टू मेजर, कीपिंग IB constant. Okay, so now we'll do a graph. So in x-axis what we'll do, x-axis में क्या रखेंगे?
Sir, VC.
VCE. Okay, VC is the independent one, इसको वेरी करेंगे. And in y-axis we have IC. Okay, so that means IB will be fixed. So that means what? Suppose first I will take IB equal to 1 milliampere. Okay, तो ये IB 1 milliampere fix हो गया. उसके बाद VC को वेरी करके IB को IC को मेजर करेंगे और उसका एक प्लॉट मिल जाएगा. फिर क्या करेंगे, IB को 10 कर देंगे, थोड़ा चेंज करके 10 कर देंगे और उसको छोड़ देंगे. फिर VC को एक 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 करके रीडिंग लेंगे, VC को 1 2 3 4 ऐसे करके रीडिंग लेंगे, उसका कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग IC को एक टेबुलेट करेंगे, उसका एक कर्व निकलेगा. ओके, वही सारे हम करेंगे. राइट, सो व्हेन आई एम सेइंग दैट IB इज कांस्टेंट, सपोज IB इक्वल टू 1 milliampere. Okay, assume that 1 milliampere means, I am just for simplicity I am telling, let's say 1 milliampere means 100 electrons, and 2 milliampere means it is giving 200 electrons, suppose for simplicity. Okay, so assume IB equal to, first fix 1 milliampere, so that means 100 electrons are shifted from emitter to base. Okay, so those electron will act as a minority electron here. Okay, and those minority electron will be shifted to the collector side with a very little amount of VCE voltage. Okay, because this VCE voltage is keeping or putting this collector base junction in reverse manner. Okay, and I know that with very little amount of VCE voltage, all the electron will be shifted to collector. उसके बाद क्या होगा? After that, this current will be saturated. This is, or let us say IB equal to IB equal to 0 microampere. Suppose when IB equal to 0 microampere means what? Basically there is no current between this we are entering. Okay, at that time if you are applying this VCE, then the current is due to the minority carrier which are present from the beginning itself. Okay, so at that time this is 0. When the VCE value is slightly more than slightly more than 0, at that time all the electrons are shifted, and once all the electrons are shifted from here to here, after that no more increase in the current value. Okay, it is getting saturated. Okay, now if let us say IB equal to 10 microampere. Okay, IB को 10 microampere कर दिए. That means what? We are adding or we are giving more electron from emitter to base. Okay, at that time also after a little amount of VCE voltage, all the electron from base will be shifted to collector. IV equal to 10 microampere. Similarly, okay, so here this person is your saturation region, and below this IB equal to 0, this then is a cut-off region, okay, and this one is your active region. Okay, so what basically you are finding out that when IB is increasing, okay, with respect to that, IC is also increasing. Okay, so in this way, it is amplifying. Okay, listen. So if VBE will be changed, as for VBE, what will happen? IBE will also change. Okay, so if IB will change, there is also a relationship between IC and IB that we'll study after some time. That is called also beta. Okay, so if IB will change, then IC will also change. Okay, so at that time, that means basically with respect to the change in the input voltage, the output current will also change. That we'll see later. So here we have a output characteristics. So first, what you saw that if IB equal to 0 microampere, at that time also there is certain amount of current. Why that current will be? That will be because of the minority carrier which are present inside this base. Okay, and when this VCE will be little bit more than 0, all of those minority carrier will be shifted to collector, and once and after that, if you go on increasing VCE, still there will be no increment in the current. The current will be almost constant, or it is almost saturated. Okay, and if you are taking IB equal to 10 microampere, that means more number of electrons are given from emitter to base. Okay, and at that time the maximum collector current will be equal to that. So it will almost equal to 10 होगा या 10 से थोड़ा सा नीचे होगा. Okay, suppose मान लो थोड़ा सा नीचे होगा. Okay, similarly if IB equal to 20 microampere, the IC will also be more, or the maximum IC value will also be more. Okay, right. So here we have one relationship which we know, that is IC equal to alpha IE plus ICBO. Okay, I'm erasing this one. This one we have studied when we started regarding this alpha. At that time I have told you IC equal to alpha IE plus ICBO. Okay, so from that we know that IE equal to IC plus IB. Here we know IE equal to IC plus IE equal to IC plus IB. IE equal to IC plus IB. So in place of this IE, you can put that IC plus ICBO. Implies just open this bracket and take this alpha IC to left side. So IC minus alpha IC equal to alpha IB plus ICBO. Okay, or take IC common. Okay, IC into 1 minus alpha equal to alpha IB alpha IB plus ICBO. Take this 1 minus alpha to right side, alpha by 1 minus alpha IB plus ICBO by 1 minus alpha. Okay. So most of the times one question is asked. So for that, this derivation or this expression is just required. You have to start from this thing. It is asked in the question, prove that ICEO or find out a relationship between ICEO and ICBO. Okay. You write down that, then I'll tell you. Okay. Not here. Okay. ICEO. What is ICEO? Like we have talked about ICBO. It is ICBO is what? Collected to base with keeping emitter open. ICEO is what? Collected to emitter with keeping base open. That means in this common emitter configuration, if you keep base open, suppose मान लो इसको ओपन कर दिए, ओके, उस टाइम पे तुम्हारा कितना करंट फ्लो कर रहा है ड्यू टू ओनली the initial minority carrier present. So that is called as the ICEO. ICEO that means collected to emitter with keeping base open. ये थोड़ा नोट कर लो, collected to emitter, ये O stands for base open. Okay, ये base open है, दिख रहा है ना? Collected to emitter, keeping base open. So sometimes in the question or one question is asked, find out a relationship between ICEO and ICBO. उसका मतलब क्या है? ICEO मतलब ये कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में बेस को ओपन करने में कितना करंट है, दैट इज ICEO. ICBO क्या है? कॉमन बेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में एमिटर को ओपन करने में कलेक्टर टू बेस कितना करंट है, सो दैट इज ICBO. ओके, सो पहले जो देख रहे थे ना, तो दैट वाज ICBO, so this is ICEO. So find out the relationship between ICBO and ICEO. It is asked sometimes. Okay. So if I want to find out that ICEO, okay, ICEO means what? Base is open. So if base is open, IB current will be how much?
Zero.
IB is zero.
0 ampere, sir.
Yes, 0. Okay. So that means it is 0 plus this is the relationship between ICEO and ICBO, or directly you can I just show this one. IC equal to this thing, you can put IB equal to 0 since ICEO, और इसमें ब्रैकेट में लिख दो since base is open, IB equal to 0, ब्रैकेट में लिख दिया, पता चल जाएगा. ओके, तो इसको 0 डाल दिया तो मुझे मिल जाएगा क्या? ICEO इक्वल टू ICEO equal to ICBO by 1 minus alpha. Okay. अच्छा. Normally this alpha is a quantity which is near to 1 that we have studied. I told you what alpha will be equal to, let's say 0.9 or 0.95. Almost it is near to 1. Okay. So if I put that small value here, then it will be a large quantity. I mean, let's say 1 minus 0.95. उसको अगर 1 by 1 minus 0.95 उसको कैलकुलेट करोगे, वो समथिंग अराउंड 200 300 ऐसे बड़ा क्वांटिटी का आएगा. ओके, सो
ICEO का वैल्यू बहुत ज्यादा आ जाएगा फिर.
हाँ. So you can just write down that alpha is a very small quantity. So if I'll put that small quantity then the ICEO will be equal to a large multiple of ICBO. Suppose you put the value as 0.996, let's say. Alpha is a small quantity, not small quantity, near to 1. Alpha is normally
Tending to 1, sir.
yeah, near to 1. Okay, so taking alpha equal to 0.996, if you calculate it,
ICO tending to
equal
infinity.
to 1 by ICBO implies it will be calculated, it will around 250, it was coming, yeah, 250. Okay, so that indicates, why it indicates this thing, that when base is open, in case of this normally this ICEO is a larger compared to this ICBO. Okay, in case of common base configuration, if your emitter was open at that time, the current which was going to IC current, okay, that was very negligible. But in case of this common emitter configuration, this is 250 or a large times of that one. Okay, so in case of common emitter configuration, if this base is open, still the amount of current which will flow, that will be a larger quantity. Okay, so that's why just the graph which we draw at the starting, ये जो आउटपुट करेक्टेरिस्टिक ग्राफ किए थे ना, तो उसका जो IV इक्वल टू 0 वाला कर्व था, उसको देखो वो पूरा 0 के और हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन के पास नहीं, उससे थोड़ा ऊपर है. ओके, अभी जो आउटपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक किया था ये कॉमन एमिटर का, उसमें ये देखोगे VCE वर्सेस IC ये था. ओके, पहले वाला किया, IV इक्वल टू 0 किया. ओके, तो ये 0 से थोड़ा ऊपर है, लेकिन जब कॉमन बेस में कर रहा था उस टाइम पे I 0 लेके, ये मैं बोला था ना कि ये पूरा 0 से पास है, लेकिन थोड़ा दिखाने के लिए थोड़ा ऊपर किया हूँ. ओके, so that means what, in case of your open configuration in ICEO, in the common emitter configuration, if base is open, at that time whatever current flow, that is significant one. Okay, that is not very negligible. But in case of common base configuration, if the emitter is open, at that time the current which is flow, that is very negligible. Okay, and that is also proved from this expression, ICEO is equal to a very large multiple of ICBO. Okay, normally this ICBO value is very small value, but ICEO value is a little bit more significant value. Okay, that is indicating. Okay, so this is about your alpha or the current gain in case of here current gain in case of your common base configuration, which we have studied. Now we'll see about the beta or the relationship between IC and IB. Okay. पहले हम अल्फा देखे थे. अल्फा क्या था? IC वर्सेस IE. IC वर्सेस IE. ओके, और ये IC IE किसमें ये है? अल्फा था तुम्हारा कॉमन बेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में. ओके, तो इस तरफ का कॉमन बेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन हुआ था, एमिटर बेस कलेक्टर था, जो वोल्टेज लगा है IE IB IC. इधर तुम IC और IE के बीच में रिलेशनशिप निकाल रहे थे अल्फा लेके. ओके, अल्फा इक्वल टू द IC वर्सेस IE और करंट गेन, योर आउटपुट करंट बाय इनपुट करंट. ओके, सो IC वर्सेस IE, IC बाय IE इज इक्वल टू योर अल्फा. ये कॉमन बेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में जो करंट गेन है, दैट वाज कॉल्ड एज योर अल्फा. नाउ इन केस ऑफ योर कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, the current gain is called as the beta. Beta equal to, or it is you can write down bracket beta current gain in common emitter configuration. Beta DC equal to your IC by IB. So tell me, normally this beta value should be a large quantity or it's a small quantity, or near to 1, or anything you can guess?
A smaller quantity, sir.
Smaller quantity? Anyone else?
It
Okay,
will
why?
be larger quantity.
Okay, why it is smaller or why it is larger? Josh?
Sir, IB current will be more. That's why
IB is more?
beta DC.
Okay, how come IB is more? Always I'm telling you that IB is very small because most of the electrons will go
हाँ sir,
towards
फिर
the,
larger होगा फिर sir. Beta
Yeah,
DC larger
because
होगा.
I have told you several times that whatever the electrons are coming from emitter to base, most of them will go to collector and few of them will come to base. Okay, so that means IC is normally large quantity and IB is very small quantity. Okay, and because of that IC by IB should be a large quantity. Okay, so basically this beta indicate one parameter of the BJT. Okay, so that means this is the amplification factor of this transistor. So depending on the manufacturing of this transistor, whether we have a high amplifier or high beta value transistor or a low beta value transistor. So high beta value transistor means it is the collector current is more compared to base current. Low beta value transistor means collector current is not very large compared to base current. Okay, so normally this beta value is between 50 to 400 around. It is around 50 to in between 50 to 400. Okay. Suppose let's say 100, 200, 300, any type of, or 150 like this, whatever beta value may be. Okay. And if you want to find out the beta AC, then it is delta IC by delta IB, keeping other parameters constant. VCE constant. That means how the IC is changing with respect to IB when the other things are constant. Okay. So in the output curve only, output characteristic only, you can find out this beta AC. Output characteristic में क्या था? तुम्हारा VCE versus IC. ये था ना तुम्हारा IB equal to 0, IB equal to 1 microampere, IB equal to 2 microampere, ऐसे था. ओके, उसका करेस्पॉन्डिंग IC कितना है वो मिल जाएगा. ओके, तो उसका जो भी वैल्यू है, सपोज कुछ मिली एम्पियर ये है, सपोज मान लो 1 मिली एम्पियर, okay. That means when the IB is saturated, उसका जो constant value हो गया, वहां से horizontal line draw कर दो IC axis को. Okay, then IC का जितना भी value है, so those are the corresponding IC value for this particular or for this IB value. Suppose for this VCE value, you want to find out how much is the beta. So put a vertical line here. Okay, so delta IC by delta IB. So delta IC means, and delta IB means keeping VCE is constant. Suppose at this VCE we want to find out just I am drawing here delta IC by delta IB. Suppose I am taking these 2 points. Taking these 2 points, I am measuring this beta value. Okay, so here IB is 2 microampere and IB is 1 ampere. 2 microampere minus 2 microampere minus 1 microampere. और 2 माइक्रो एम्पियर के करस्पॉन्डिंग करंट आईसी कितना है 3 मिली एम्पियर, 3 मिली एम्पियर, और आईबी इक्वल टू 1 माइक्रो एम्पियर, 1 माइक्रो एम्पियर के करस्पॉन्डिंग आईसी कितना है 2 मिली एम्पियर। तो डिवाइड करो, कैलकुलेट करो, so that will be your beta AC. Okay. So that means beta DC means at a particular operating point, if you know the IC and IB, then just divide them and it will give you the beta value. And beta AC means if you have an output characteristic, that means if your IB is varying, okay, with respect to change in the input current or IB current, how the IC is varying, so that if you want to find out, then that will be your beta AC. Okay. Next we'll find out the relationship between alpha and beta. Give the heading as relationship between alpha and beta. Okay, we know one thing, IE equal to IC plus IB. As for the KCL, IE equal to IC plus IB. Okay, this IE equal to IC plus IB we know. Now, all the terms we can convert to IC terms. Okay, I know what is alpha. Alpha equal to IC by IE. What is beta? IC by IB. These two things you should remember. Okay, alpha equal to IC by IE, beta equal to IC by IB. Okay, most of the times we talk about this thing. Okay, alpha AC, alpha DC. We sometimes, if the graphical things are given, and if you want to find out the alpha DC term or beta DC term from the graph, you can calculate, no doubt. But most of the in the problem or everything, like directly IC and IE value are given. From that alpha you can calculate. Otherwise, let's say alpha you know, IC you know. From that you have to calculate IE. Okay, so those type of things are have to. So all the things we can convert into IC term. Okay, so IE equal to how much? In place of IE, what I can write down? IC by alpha. Okay, alpha is IC by IE. So IE equal to IC by alpha. IC plus IB, in place of IB, what I can write down? Tell me.
IC by beta.
IC by beta.
Yes, IC by beta. So all IC term will be cancelled out. So what I'll get? 1 by alpha equal to 1 plus 1 by beta. Okay. So basically, I have to find out alpha equal to how much of beta, okay, and beta equal to how much of alpha. Okay, so that thing I'm going to do it right now. Okay, that means I let us say alpha equal to beta plus 1 by beta इस करके मुझे एक फॉर्मूला निकालना है. Similarly, beta equal to alpha plus 1 into minus alpha ऐसे करके एक फॉर्मूला निकालना है. That is very simple. So ये एक बार एक्सप्रेशन यहाँ से मिल गया. Suppose I want to find out how much is alpha. So just इसको expand कर दो. It is equal to beta plus 1 by beta implies alpha equal to beta by beta plus 1. ठीक है. अच्छा. Similarly, if I want to find out how much is beta, okay, इसके बाद यहाँ से चेंज कर दूंगा. तो 1 by alpha minus 1 equal to 1 by beta. Okay, इधर एक एक्सप्रेशन मिल गया. यहाँ से मैं इस तरफ का नहीं जाके 1 by alpha minus 1 equal to 1 by beta. ठीक है, implies 1 minus alpha by alpha equal to 1 by beta, implies alpha by 1 minus alpha is equal to बीटा, ओके, और इसको उल्टा करके लिख दो। बीटा इक्वल टू अल्फा बाई 1 माइनस अल्फा। But how to find out how much is equal to alpha and how much equal to beta? Just check here. I have told you beta is a normally large quantity. Let us say beta is 200. So if you put here 200 by 200 plus 1, okay, इसका वैल्यू कैसे आएगा? 200 डिवाइड बाई 201, उसका वैल्यू कुछ 0.99 ऐसे करके
0
आएगा
point
कि
something है।
नहीं 0 पॉइंट आएगा, लेकिन वो ऑलमोस्ट 1 से पास ही आएगा कि नहीं?
हाँ यस सर यस सर
Yes sir, yes sir.
ओके, सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल 200 बाई 201 डालो, ओके, तो उसका वैल्यू कितना? सपोज 0.956 0.97 ऐसे करके कुछ आएगा। ओके, so why we know that alpha will be just near to 1. Similarly, if you put that thing, suppose you take alpha equal to 0.95, 0.95 divided by 1 minus 0.95 ऐसे करके कैलकुलेट करने से बीटा का वैल्यू कितना आएगा?
ग्रेटर देन 1।
ग्रेटर देन 1 होगा, ये एक लार्ज क्वांटिटी आएगा।
हाँ
तो 0.95 बाई 0.05 इसको करोगे तो ऑलमोस्ट कुछ 200-300 ऐसे आ सकता है, कुछ ज्यादा क्वांटिटी, बड़ा क्वांटिटी आएगा। ओके,
Yes,
जो कि
sir.
हमारा बीटा में आता है। ठीक है, तो नॉर्मली बीटा इज अ लार्ज क्वांटिटी अराउंड 200-300-400 and alpha is a quantity which is just near to 1. Okay. Okay, just one more thing, last thing. उससे पहले हम एक डेरिवेशन किए थे ना, ICEO और ICBO के बीच में रिलेशनशिप निकाले थे। तो ICEO इक्वल टू हाउ मच ICBO? बोलो।
बीटा प्लस 1 इंटू ICBO।
हाँ, नहीं, पहले जो डेरिवेशन किए थे उसको बोलो। ICEO इक्वल टू, अभी डेरिवेशन किए थे ना कुछ टाइम पहले, ICEO इक्वल टू हाउ मच ऑफ ICBO?
ICB by 1
Yes
minus
sir.
divided by 1 minus alpha.
Yes, 1 by 1 minus alpha. I think I have derived till that point.
Yes, sir.
हाँ,
ICBO by 1 minus
किया
alpha।
था, ICBO by
1 minus alpha।
1 minus alpha, ऐसे ऐसे derive किया था। Okay,
Yes,
so it can also be put as ICBO equal to okay. Yes, 1 by 1 minus alpha. Okay, so 1 by 1 minus alpha can be just find out as beta plus 1. Okay, और
अल्फा की जगह से बीटा बाई बीटा प्लस 1 पुट कर दें क्या?
which one?
1 माइनस अल्फा है ना, तो अल्फा की जगह बीटा बाई बीटा प्लस 1 पुट कर देंगे।
That I'm saying. So in place of alpha, you can just put this thing ICBO by 1 minus alpha. In place of alpha, you just put beta by beta plus 1 and you just calculate it. So it will be equal to ICBO by a beta plus 1 minus beta. So it is 1. Okay, 1 by beta plus 1. 1 by
Beta plus
ऊपर
1.
चला जाएगा सर बीट।
Beta plus 1 into
yeah,
ICBO.
so that will happen. That I'm saying. Okay, it is equal to beta plus 1 ICBO. ICEO equal to beta plus 1 ICBO. So sometimes it is also asked, prove that equation ICEO equal to beta plus 1 ICBO. Okay, so how I will do that? From the starting, we have derived and we have got till this point ICEO equal to ICBO by 1 minus alpha. ये derivation कर देना है. Okay, उसके बाद ये अल्फा की जगह ये बीटा बाई बीटा प्लस 1 को डालना है, और ये कैसे आ गया उसको एक डेरिवेशन करके यहाँ पे एक साइड में लिख देना है कि अल्फा, वी नो दैट अल्फा इक्वल टू बीटा बाई बीटा प्लस 1. ओके, और इसको प्रोसीड करके यहाँ पे पहुंच जाओगे ICO इक्वल टू बीटा प्लस 1 ICBO.
तब बीटा का वैल्यू लार्जर रहेगा तो +1 को इग्नोर भी कर सकते हैं.
Yes, that thing also can be neglected. So it will be approximately. That means if sometimes it will ask prove that ICO equal to beta ICBO. Okay, उसमें भी ऐसे करके बीटा प्लस 1 मिल गया तो फाइनली और इसे approximately equal to beta ICBO. Okay.
सर यहाँ पे बीटा बहुत लार्जर वैल्यू है ना?
Yes, large value. Large value means something like 300, 200 ऐसे कुछ आता है normally बीटा का वैल्यू.
सर
Yes.
ये जो पढ़ा रहे हैं आप इसका नोट्स कब देंगे?
हाँ नोट्स दे दूंगा. ओके नोट्स लिख रहा हूँ तो उसको नोट्स लिख के दे दूंगा स्कैन करके दे. ठीक है. So see for your this class test I've already told you module 1 and module 2. module 1 से जो जितना बोला था उस वो 15 मार्क हो रहा है. ओके एंड मॉड्यूल 2 से जितना हो रहा है वो 10 मार्क हो रहा है. ओके तो मॉड्यूल 2 में अभी जहाँ तक पढ़ाया जाएगा ऑलमोस्ट उसमें से आएगा. ओके तो ये एक्चुअली कम पर्सन है. ओके मॉड्यूल 2 में अगर मतलब उसको मत छोड़ो तो मॉड्यूल 2 में से तुमको डेफिनेटली 10 मार्क मिल जाएगा. ओके मॉड्यूल 1 में इतना सारा है उसमें से 15 मार्क आएगा. लेकिन मॉड्यूल 2 में ये जहाँ से शुरू किए यहाँ से ट्रांजिस्टर बायसिंग तक जाएगा, फिक्स्ड बायस सर्किट तक जाएगा. ओके उनमें से 10 मार्क आ जाएगा. तो इसको अच्छे से पढ़ो. ओके जितना पढ़ाया हूँ तो थोड़ा बुक भी देखो. ओके
सर ये सब लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन है अभी जो पढ़ा रहे
हो सकता है. जैसे कि तुम्हारा बेसिकली ट्रांजिस्टर का वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल लिखो, उसका इनपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक आउटपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक लिखो. ओके सपोज ये किसका पहले कॉमन एमिटर का इनपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक आउटपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. ओके एंड कॉमन बेस का इनपुट आउटपुट. ठीक है. और ट्रांजिस्टर का वर्किंग. ये चारों ये चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है. पहले तो ट्रांजिस्टर का वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल एक्सप्लेन करो. ये मतलब वेल नोन लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन है. उसके बाद उसके साथ ही दे सकता है कि राइट डाउन द इनपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक एंड आउटपुट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ कॉमन एमिटर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन और लेट्स से कॉमन बेस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. ऐसे करके दे सकता है. नेक्स्ट ऐसे ये कर सकता है कि प्रूव दैट ICO इक्वल टू बीटा प्लस 1 ICBO. ओके और फाइंड आउट द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन अल्फा एंड बीटा. और कुछ ऐसे प्रॉब्लम दिया होगा जिसमें अल्फा होगा और IC का कुछ वैल्यू दिया होगा तो वहाँ से I निकलना है, उस तरफ का है. ओके और उसके बाद है फिक्स्ड बायस सर्किट जो कि हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखेंगे. ठीक है.
सर मॉड्यूल 2 से 2 लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन आएगा उसमें से हमको 1
नहीं मॉड्यूल 1 से एक लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन आएगा, मॉड्यूल 2 से एक लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन. ऐसे मतलब जो और में रहेगा वही सेम मॉड्यूल का. मतलब मॉड्यूल 1 से 2 क्वेश्चन होगा, आउट ऑफ द 2 यू हैव टू डू 1. सिमिलरली मॉड्यूल 2 से 2 लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन. ओके आउट ऑफ दोस 2 लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू डू 1. कैसा नहीं कि मॉड्यूल 1 से एक मॉड्यूल को छोड़ दोगे तो एक लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन मिस हो जाएगा. ठीक है.
सिर्फ ये वाला पढ़ लेंगे तो हो जाएगा सर?
हाँ इसको पढ़ो हो जाएगा.
यही वाला आएगा कि सर बता दीजिए.
मुझे क्या क्वेश्चन पता है.
सारों में बोल दो सर आप.
ये तो सर बोल दिए कि प्रूफ करने आएगा ICBO वाला.
Till this point I expect that you should have
ये डन है ना फिर?
Because now whatever I'm going to the module 2 by tomorrow and day after tomorrow module 2 till that point it will be asked in the exam. Okay so module 1 को अभी तक कंप्लीट कर दो. Okay module 2 का नोट्स में मैं भी कल दे दूंगा, कल तक दे दूंगा. ठीक है. देने के बाद module 2 को पढ़ना है. उसके साथ तो अभी जितना नोट किया है उसको भी पढ़ो. इन मैं जब नोट्स दे दूंगा तो उसके बाद उसको पढ़ना है. ठीक है.
सर वो एग्जाम में जैसे कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आएगा उसको लिखेंगे तो उसमें स्टेटमेंट लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. जैसे कि समझ रहे हैं मतलब जैसे कि होता है ना कि द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस इज इक्वल्स टू दिस. मतलब डायरेक्ट उसका टर्म सब लेके लिख सकते हैं ना. जैसे अल्फा
क्वेश्चन देख के करो. जैसे कि डैट प्रॉब्लम वगैरह था। ओके, डैट प्रॉब्लम में जो क्वेश्चन है तो उस क्वेश्चन का जो फिगर है उसको तो फिगर को करना है। तो ये डाटा दिया है तो मतलब जो डाटा दिया होगा पहले वो डाटा को लिख दो, ताकि वो लिख देने से तुमको करने के लिए भी वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आसान होगा, वो जो भी चेक करेगा उसके लिए भी इजी रहेगा। ओके, जो डाटा दिया होगा उसको लिख दोगे। सपोज मान लो BDD इज दिस मच एंड R इज दिस मच।
वो नहीं लिखने से मार्क्स तो नहीं ना कटेंगे सर?
नहीं, ऐसे कुछ नहीं कटेगा। तुम्हारा आउटपुट मतलब प्रोसीजर ठीक होना चाहिए। जो तुम्हारा सपोज ऐसे सर्किट है, सपोज कोई क्वेश्चन में लिखा है, ओके, तो लिख दिया है कि R1 का वैल्यू इतना है, डायोड इज सिलिकॉन डायोड, ऐसे करके लिख दिया है। तो अगर उसको इसी में ही मेंशन कर दोगे 0.7 वोल्ट है कि सिलिकॉन डायोड लिखा था ना, तो इसको सिलिकॉन लिख दिया। तो सपोज क्वेश्चन में लिखा है कैपेसिटर वैल्यू इज 1 माइक्रोफैराड, तो उसमें 1 माइक्रोफैराड लिख दोगे। ओके, एंड अगर कुछ ऐसे वोल्टेज लिखा है कि इनपुट वोल्टेज इज स्मॉल, तो वोल्टेज विल बी मेंशन्ड हियर। Let us say 5 volt sinusoidal wave, 5 volt sinusoidal wave you will write down. Okay, तो जो डाटा दिया है, जो एटलीस्ट जो इम्पोर्टेंट डाटा है, जो जिसको लेके प्रॉब्लम करोगे, तो वही डाटा उसको प्रॉब्लम के पास और जो सर्किट डायग्राम के पास लिखने से वो अच्छे से रह जाएगा।
मतलब फिगर भी हम ही लोग को बनाना है सर?
हाँ, फिगर बनाओगे ना। अरे जैसे तुम एक क्लास में एक प्रॉब्लम करोगे तो सर्किट डायग्राम करोगे, सर्किट डायग्राम करके उसको सारे जो पैरामीटर्स जैसे कि करंट डायरेक्शन है और वोल्टेज डायरेक्शन है वो सारे दोगे, देने के बाद उसका प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करोगे। ठीक है,
ओके सर।
ओके देन।
प्रेजेंटेशन से ज्यादा सर अच्छा और बोर्ड में लग रहा है सर, आप पढ़ा रहे हैं तो।
हाँ, पहले एक्चुअली बोर्ड का सेटअप नहीं था, तो अभी बोर्ड का सेटअप हो गया, तो इसलिए मैंने बोर्ड में देखा।
बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा रहे हैं सर।
नहीं ठीक है, तो पहले अगर सेटअप होता तो फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल में इसमें हो जाता था, लेकिन वो सेटअप नहीं था। ठीक है
सर, इस चैप्टर का कुछ मतलब पीपीटी टाइप का नहीं है?
पीपीटी आधा बनाया था, लेकिन उसके बाद जब ये बोर्ड सेटअप हो गया तो मैंने सोचा कि बोर्ड में पढ़ाऊंगा। ये चैप्टर 2 का ना?
यस सर।
तो चैप्टर 2 का, और मैं पीपीटी में नहीं बना रहा हूँ, इसमें ही पढ़ा रहा हूँ। ठीक है
सर, हम लोग सोचे पीपीटी आप सेंड करोगे, नोट्स भी नहीं लिख रहा।
ओके, नहीं, ये अच्छा, कल से जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ तो उसका नोट्स कर लो। ठीक है, तो पहले जो होता था वो पीपीटी था, उसको तो पीपीटी दे रहा था, लेकिन इसका वीडियो तो मिल जाएगा, तो वीडियो देख के नहीं तो नोट्स कर लोगे। और मैं इसका नोट्स लिख रहा हूँ, तो लिख देने के बाद उसको दे दूंगा। ठीक है
ओके
सर, इसका आधा पीपीटी तो दे देंगे ना?
नहीं, आधा पीपीटी मतलब बहुत थोड़ा सा है था, उसमें नहीं है ज़्यादा। मॉडल 2 में कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं है, तो सारे एक्सप्लेनेशन चीज़ है ना, तो इसलिए एक्सप्लेनेशन पार्ट जो है इसमें से देखो, इसमें से देख के उसको कर देना है, लिखना है।
सर आप जो नोट देंगे वो हैंड राइटिंग है?
हाँ, हैंड राइटिंग।
सर क्वेश्चन पेपर कहाँ बनता है सर?
क्वेश्चन पेपर वो बाहर से होके आ रहा है।
क्वेश्चन बैंक में है?
नहीं, क्वेश्चन बैंक से नहीं है, वो बाहर से आ रहा है। ओके, एनीवे तुम अच्छे से पढ़ो, जो डाउट है वो डाउट सारे रखो मुझे, नहीं तो अगर टाइम होगा तो फ्राइडे को मुझे पूछोगे। ठीक है, कल मैं देख रहा हूँ जो नेक्स्ट पर्सन है, जो मॉड्यूल 1 का जो चाहिए, जब तक जहाँ तक वो कंप्लीट कर दूंगा। वो कंप्लीट करने के बाद अगर हो सके तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में कुछ डाउट वगैरह क्लियर करेंगे। ठीक है
सर, मॉड्यूल 1 का अभी भी बाकी है कुछ?
नहीं, मॉड्यूल 1 का बाकी नहीं है, मॉड्यूल 1 का बाकी नहीं है, तो तुम उसको पढ़ो, पढ़ के कंप्लीट करो। अगर कुछ डाउट है तो नेक्स्ट क्लास को देखेंगे, सैटरडे फ्राइडे को देखेंगे।
ओके सर।
One more thing is there, the LED portion is there, just read that LED portion, it is not very much important. Okay, so you can okay, take it as a assignment. Okay, write it as a assignment, that write down, you have to write down the introduction. Okay, make it as a assignment. or LED. Okay, its introduction, working, and symbol. Okay, so these things about LED, to just study and write down it about it. Just make a one page, okay, one page writing about LED.
सर तो पहला वाला में दिए थे ना,
पहला वाला
असाइनमेंट में एलईडी के बारे में लिख के तो दिए।
हाँ, इसको सबमिट करोगे, लेकिन अभी इसको उसको पढ़ के उसको एक पेज कर दो, मैं दूंगा तुमको, एक क्लासरूम में एक असाइनमेंट करूंगा तो वहाँ पे सबमिट करना है, बाद में सबमिट करोगे, लेकिन इसको पहले कंप्लीट कर दो, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
ओके देन।
सर
यस,
अटेंडेंस मेरा सर 25 K1
25
कल वाला सर।
Okay, just yesterday I was checking, I just checked that report, attendance report. Based on that, I have given absent. Just I'll check it again, okay? Check
सर मैं तो पूरा क्लास में प्रेजेंट था सर।
Okay, मैं देखूँ, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
Thank you guys.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर।
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.